Peter Delpenny here with USA Women's Captain Sindhu Sriharsha. We're less than 24 hours away now from the USA's first match at the Women's T20 World Cup Qualifier against Scotland. You're back from where you were 2 years ago, almost deja vu, rainy then and rainy today. You've got a couple of reserve days though in case weather interferes tomorrow, which looks like it could happen, but having the preparation you've had down south in the London area, playing against the MCC, playing against some KSL squads, what would you say in terms of how you would evaluate how the team's preparation has gone this time around compared to 2 years ago?
I think we're much more prepared than the couple of years back when we came over here, with also Pricey taking over as the head coach, and I think brings a better perspective as to women's cricket. She brings in something that we didn't have before, and we're definitely more prepared. We're together as a team for almost 6.5 months now, with the Canada series preparing for that and this, and I think we are definitely much more prepared than what we were 2.5 years back.
In terms of squad personnel, you've gotten a bit younger, especially on the bowling front with Lisa Ramjit and Gitika Kodali. Lisa against Thailand, who had an amazing winning streak that was just broken on the eve of this tournament in the quad series they had in the Netherlands, but Thailand is coming in as one of the favorites, and Lisa Ramjit was actually one of the few, I guess, players to stand out really in a positive way with her bowling figures. Very economical. She didn't take any wickets, but very economical against a very strong Thailand team. What have some of the newer players like her added to this squad that makes you more confident about your chances this time around?
Gitika and Lisa, I think they're very fresh off the board, and I think what makes them more effective is they have nobody has seen them, and they're not somebody, people are not able to read what they're able to do, and I think that's kind of hard for the players to pick them. And of course they're very attentive to take instructions from us and to go about doing things that we're asking them to do, and to bowl to the fields and to be able to try out and be brave. I think those two are really brave and trying to do as much as possible for the team, and I think they're very good two additions to the team that's giving us more power to our bowling.
Where else do you feel that the team has improved in a significant way compared to 2 years ago?
I think a lot of our fitness levels have improved. We've been following a strict program from the past 6 months now, and I think when we look ourselves on the field, we're definitely looking much better fitness levels, and our running between the wickets have been more sharper, and I think that has added a lot of plus to our team as a team and bonding well on the field, and I think that's what is going to help us win.
One area that I've noticed that hasn't really changed, though, is the power hitting. The team is heavily reliant on you, Eric Randler, and Shabani Bhaskar to really find that boundary striking capability. Are you feeling any pressure to have a bit more responsibility any more than you had a couple years ago to try and carry the burden, try and get USA up to a competitive tour to give the bowler something to work with?
Well, all the batters have to perform, have to be able to stand up and put up their hands and say this is our role in the team, and to play to their role. And of course, with Shabani, Erica, myself, we come with the role of having to play the entire 20 overs and be able to take up the pressure. And I think that comes with the kind of cricket that both Shabani and I have played before. And I think being the senior players of the team, we should be able to take the pressure and be able to guide the team through and let the other batsmen go through with us. Nadia has been also getting some runs and hitting the ball really well, and I think she's also been our boundary maker for a while now. So I think we have a good 4 to 5 of us coming up there and doing things.
Bangladesh is really the favorite, head and shoulders in your group, coming in as one of the teams who advanced to the T20 World Cup last time around out of this tournament. Most people would say you're looking at the Scotland game and the Papua New Guinea game as your two chances that you really need to lock down those games to have any chance of advancing to the semifinals. Knowing how competitive you were against Scotland 2 years ago, and I remember Shabani Bhaskar in particular had a hamstring, and you batted quite well in the Scotland game as well. What needs to change from the USA standpoint in order to overturn that result and give USA a chance to win tomorrow?
For us, I think getting onto the field and all of us putting the right foot forward and being able to perform to our ability. And I think if all of us can perform to our ability, there shouldn't be a reason why we shouldn't be crossing over the line tomorrow. And I think, yes, we've done good against them, but we weren't able to get the results that we wanted to 2.5 years back. But today, and I think we're much more prepared, and we know them better, and we know these conditions better now. And I think we should be able to put our right foot forward and then give our best out there and leave the rest.
With the weather looking like it's going to be wet and damp, especially around the tournament, but specifically tomorrow, it looks like the morning games may be washed out, but there's a chance you guys have the 2 o'clock game. You guys play the late game against Scotland, and there's a chance the weather could clear up by around 3:30. How much would a rain-shortened game, whether it's to 10 overs or just the bare minimum 5 overs, how much would that play into your hands in terms of neutralizing some of the disparity in terms of the overall squad depth and just having a 5-over crack with the big power hitters like you having a crack at Scotland?
I think it will work out for us, and just going out there and smashing the ball, just 5 overs, go give it all, and then see how it happens. And I think it's the same for both the teams. When you look at it, it's just going out there and playing to the conditions that's available out there. Definitely, a shortened game would mean that we have all the license to just go from ball one, and I think that works out well for us.
You mentioned her before, Julia Price, former Australia Test player. Her reputation maybe in the U.S. isn't as big as it is in Australia, but what would you say to people who haven't gotten a chance to work with her beyond the people who worked with her in the USA Cricket Combines when she was here in her initial visit a couple years ago, and outside of the USA women's squad in particular? What would you say about her that is something that is unique that most people wouldn't know about, that she has done to help lift the standards?
I think as a team, we've all discussed this. I think she's the best thing that has happened to us in this 1.5 years now. And she coming into the team, she's been able to just sit with us and let us know where we are in our team and trying to give us a program to kind of develop us to the next level. And she's done that to other teams before. And I think she's formed a bond with each one of our players, and she knows us really well. She knows our game really well, and she's tried to bring us all together. And I think we're more as a team because of what Pricey has done to us. I think she's the best thing to have happened to us.
This is slightly tangentially related, but with the performance that the men have had coming out of Bermuda, it's very disappointing. So at the moment, I guess the psyche of USA cricket overall is a bit bruised. What do you think it would mean for the USA women's team to help repair that reputation that's been damaged a little bit on the field and put into performance and potentially qualify for the World Cup over the course of the next 8 days?
It would mean everything to USA cricket, being the first team to qualify for Women's World Cup, T20 World Cup. It would mean so much for USA cricket, for the girls that are back home trying to, the little girls who are trying to see what next, and I think we'll be able to give them something to look forward to. Hard luck to the boys, and I'm sure they prepared really well, and it's not the result that they wanted, but I'm sure they're working hard to come back stronger. But we are here today to go out there and compete and be the first USA team to make it to the T20 World Cup.